What if I told you there's an easy way to create a space that feels good, really love and feel good in? It doesn't involve crazy renovations, but you can make it look good and it will 100% make you feel good. It is an underestimated way to make you feel good in your space. At the end of the day, it is probably very much closer than you realize to implement. And the big word that we all possibly get overwhelmed with and think, oh my God, what is that word? And that is called biophilic design. And in normal terms, like everyday terms, it is just nature inspired. And that is the overarching word that I feel super passionate about. And I think by adding plants, adding greenery, is one part of this biophilic design. There is many ways to add a nature-inspired space, and I am super excited about getting into it with you today. It can promote calm, stress-free living, lower the anxiety within a household, bring creativity and productivity to a workspace. So it's good for you. And it is super easy to implement. Now, first things first, we are not creating a rainforest or bringing the whole garden inside. That is absolutely not what this is about. I love gardening and I love being outside, but I also love my inside spaces to feel like inside spaces, but also feel calm, rejuvenated, and sometimes that blending between the two of inside and out at certain times of the year is really awesome. And I have some really fun hints and tips about creating a space that you absolutely love, you feel good in it, and it is not going to cost the world. So biophilic design, or nature-inspired design, actually goes deeper inside. It really does it pulls on things that we don't even realize it's pulling on. And that is a beautiful part of design, that it can make you feel good, and sometimes you don't even know why. So weaving in intentional pieces is something I really love, and most of my design clients actually don't even realize it's there. They may use words like calming or grounded, and I hear that all the time. But sometimes it means something a little bit deeper. And so I often add specific pieces, art, a specific vase, a specific material to these spaces to really find that feeling that they're trying to achieve. So the first one is adding plants. That's a given. We know bringing the outside in, that is inside plants, outside plants, depending on where you live, the space that you have available to put plants. Some people have really tight spaces and some people have larger spaces. So always being aware of the scale of these plants and how big they might actually want to grow. And if you need to keep things trimmed or reduced, that also would play a part in deciding which plants or trees or things you may add. Now, as the seasons change in your area, that is a really great time to watch the plants, watch what they do. Do they like being hot? Do they like being cold? Do they get thirsty? Now, if this maintenance that I've just spoken about, watering, planting, all these things, is just too much, then go artificial. Faux, fake, whatever you want to call it. It is completely fine. There are some amazing artificial trees and plants out there for sale these days that are not crazy that expensive, and they will do 99% of the job of the visual that you are trying to achieve. The only maintenance you will have is to dust them or vacuum them, wipe them down, because they may become a little bit more dusty than real plants. A bonus tip here would be to paint or find a really interesting pot with some texture on it that is going to bring your personality into the space and add either a bit of color or a bit of vibrancy or just a little bit of extra material. You'll be surprised what one beautiful looking plant and plant pot can do to a space, but we're not here to add just one thing, so let's move on. Tip 2 is basically using natural materials, understanding bringing in woods, bringing in natural stones in smaller pieces, rattan, like linens, woven baskets, jute rugs, curtains. All of these things are, if they're of a natural material, they are going to 100% make you feel more grounded. And you didn't even know it. Now, a big one here is very personal. It can be a little bit tricky to get right if you're not sure. So I do suggest the trial and error of finding things, putting it in a space, not sure, move around, all that kind of jazz. So this one is your art. Now, art inspired with the nature behind it can be photographs of waterfalls, rainforests, the beach, specific a location that you've been to on a getaway. Now these can also be interpreted in a real art on canvas, a large scale, small scale, vibrancy in the paint or color, or black and white prints. There's like an enormous amount of options when it comes to this kind of nature-inspired art. Is actually really, really powerful. Could actually do more than having the plants around. Surprisingly, research that has been coming out recently is really interesting about what we find, what we look at, and how things are making us feel. There's also like sketches of plants, of flowers, of leaves, of a vineyard. Like there's so many things outside when you start to think about, oh, I really like that and I feel nice when I think of that because I was at such and such a place, or I love the beach but I don't get to live there anymore, which is in my case. So I do love a picture or photograph of a beach setting in my home. It makes me think of my upbringing, which was close to the beach, and some holidays that we go on, we go to the beach. And it feels nice, it feels calm, it feels relaxing, it feels grounded, and all of those things just by having a few photographs or an art piece in your home. Another tip is definitely using like branches and twigs and things in different seasons. They are really, really fun to go out collecting, or you can spray paint them, different seasons and different nature that comes to us. Where I live, we are very seasonal. We have 4 quite defined seasons. Our autumn is beautiful, lush, bright colored leaves, and then all the leaves fall. We have winter, it is bare, sticks, frost, and then we have spring with all the fresh color and a very hot summer. So I have quite a varying temperature and weather systems that do come through here, and that is completely fine. I've learned to like just live with things and deal with it, and I think the trial and error is actually something that some people get really scared of, and it's okay to test things, because I've realized over the years I do or don't like certain plants in certain spaces, and it's okay. I'm just like, it's okay, that's just not for us right now. It can be given away to someone else. I pop it out for free. Someone else will love it and I don't have to care for it or worry that I'm going to do anything bad. But sometimes being in a space can just make you feel good and you're not sure why. I absolutely love this space at the moment. I have a beautiful monstera. She's actually got a fresh leaf popping out the back. I repotted these recently, gave them a good clean, and I've just left them because I've been really busy, and I was sort of thinking, oh, if they don't like it in here, I will probably have to get rid of them, but they're actually loving life. I have 2 in this space. They're absolutely awesome. I do dust them because they do get a bit dusty, but I love how the patterns that they create, the deep green. I'm a really big fan of the deep green. Now, other materials are these linen curtains behind me. This space just feels really, really grounding and calm. So I hope you've learned a little about biophilic design, nature-inspired design. That's really, really quickly about things. I thought I would kick the conversation off. If you have any questions about design, decor, what to add, pop them down into the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you. This community so far has been beautiful and amazing. I would love you to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jade. I hope you have learned and become inspired just a little to create a space that you absolutely love. That is my true passion, to help you just love the space that you're in. Doesn't matter on the size, the style, the budget, anything. As long as you love it, that's all that matters. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.